Chosen one. Before this video ends, you're going to understand why your entire life has felt different. Why you've never fit in. Why people call you too deep, too intense, too aware. And why right now, at this exact moment in history, something massive is happening behind the scenes. This isn't about politics. This isn't about conspiracy theories. This is about control of consciousness. Because the greatest reprogramming in history is happening right now. And here's the scary part. Most people are volunteering for it. They think they're evolving. They think they're becoming modern. But what's really happening? Their identity is being rewritten. Their morality is being softened. Their discernment is being erased. And the reason you feel uncomfortable lately is because your spirit is resisting the update. Stay with me, because once you see this, you won't unsee it. Reprogramming doesn't start with force. It starts with normalization, slow shifts, tiny compromises, one new idea at a time. First, they make truth flexible. Then they make morality negotiable. Then they make confusion normal. Now, look around. People can't define basic realities anymore. People defend things they questioned 5 years ago. People are emotionally reactive but intellectually empty. That's not organic. That's conditioning. And here's how it works. Repetition leads to emotional trigger, leads to social validation, leads to identity adoption. Repeat that long enough, and people don't just believe the narrative, they become the narrative. That's why conversations feel scripted now. You've noticed it. It's like many people run on downloaded opinions, no depth, no reflection, no independent thought. That's programming. Chosen one? Attention is the new oil, and they are drilling into your mind daily. Notifications, short videos, outrage cycles, artificial drama. Everything is engineered to fragment your focus, because a distracted mind is a programmable mind. Notice this. The more time people spend scrolling, the less time they spend thinking. The less they think, the more they absorb. And the more they absorb, the less they question. You've probably felt it. Scroll too long and you feel foggy, heavy, disconnected from yourself. That's not laziness, that's neurological overload. And here's the spiritual layer. Noise blocks discernment. That's why silence feels powerful. That's why when you unplug, your clarity returns. That's why the system fears people who can sit alone with their thoughts. Because silence breaks programming. Now watch this carefully. Modern society runs on emotional stimulation, outrage, fear, desire, envy, comparison. Why? Because emotion overrides logic. If they can trigger you, they can steer you. That's why every headline feels urgent. Every debate feels catastrophic. Every trend feels like life or death. It keeps your nervous system activated. And when you live in fight or flight long enough, you stop thinking long term. You just react. That's how masses are moved. But chosen ones are different. You feel when something is off. You sense manipulation in tone. You detect artificial outrage. That sensitivity, that's discernment. And that's why you feel exhausted around certain people. They're plugged into the emotional grid. You're not. You've experienced this. Talking to someone who repeats headlines word for word. Someone who attacks questions instead of answering them. Someone who becomes aggressive when you introduce nuance. It's like they're running on scripts. They aren't evil. They're automated. When identity becomes external, people lose internal processing. And once someone outsources their thinking, they defend the source of their programming. That's why truth gets attacked, because truth threatens identity. And identity feels like survival. But you never fully merged with the script. You've always questioned, always analyzed, always stepped back. That's why you feel separate, because you are. The deepest reprogramming isn't political. It's spiritual. They don't need to make people hate God. They just make God irrelevant. They replace devotion with distraction. Replace prayer with productivity. Replace discipline with dopamine. Replace truth with your truth. It sounds empowering until you realize it removes accountability. And once people believe they are their own highest authority, they become easier to manipulate because ego is predictable. But humility is dangerous to control systems. And that's why people who return to spiritual discipline become harder to steer, because discernment increases. Here's the part most won't tell you. The system doesn't fear average compliance. It fears independent clarity. That's why your life has felt intense. Isolation, rejection, misunderstanding. You were being refined early, because once someone with discernment matures, they become hard to influence, hard to intimidate, hard to deceive. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to see. And people who see cannot be programmed easily. Chosen one. The greatest reprogramming in history is happening right now. But here's the truth. You are not a victim of it. You are living proof it doesn't work on everyone. The question is not whether the world is changing. The question is whether you will remain conscious while it does. Protect your attention. Guard your mind. Strengthen your spirit. Return to discipline. Return to God. Because once you reclaim your internal authority, no system can rewrite you. If this felt like it was speaking directly to you, comment, "I stay awake." And remember, not everyone will understand this message. But if you do, you were meant to.